Hi, I'm Jeff Rectenwald, and welcome once again to your weekly weather update. It's a busy week for weather, as we will be having weather every day this week. The National Weather Service reports that a wave of thunderstorms will move through the Northeast throughout Friday and into Saturday. They report that tornadoes are possible in this weather condition, though it's unlikely that Johnstown will be affected. I mean, this town only gets obliterated once a century or so, right?
Jeff, it's been more than a century, man.
Oh. Well, let's put that out of our minds, and let's have a quick little chat with the numbers. On Friday, we have a high of 67 with a low of 49, with thunder showers throughout the day. On Saturday, a high of 58 with a low of 46, and showers in the morning. Sunday, it's going to get nicer, high of 70, low of 47, sunny all day. Monday, we have a high of 65, low of 48, and getting a little cloudy. Tuesday, it's down to 50, low of 40, and the weather's going to be generally shitty. On Wednesday, we have a high of 53, low of 41, with not quite as shitty weather. On Thursday, we have a high of 53 again, low of 38, with partly cloudy. And on Friday, high of 59, low of 42, with overcast skies. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. Join me next week for an in-depth expose titled Winter in October, the Cold Front Crisis. Until then, I'm Jeff Rectenwald, back to you at the desk.
A man from Martinez, California is in custody after police say he told investigators that he killed his 16-year-old son in July and buried his body in Sierra County. Aaron Hayek reported his son, Volkan Hayek, as a runaway in June, but Martinez police say he later told a friend about the killing. The friend went to the police, who found the boy's body Wednesday in a remote location off Highway 89 near Truckee. Investigators are at a loss to explain why the father would allegedly kill his son. They found no evidence that the man was abusive before the slaying. The 41-year-old Hayek is being held on $1 million bail in Contra Costa County Jail in Martinez. Meanwhile, the Contra Costa coroner is conducting an autopsy to determine how the boy died.
A deal to bring an outdoor ice rink to a Richland Township shopping center for the holidays has fallen through. Outdoor Ice of Fort Worth, Texas, has been advertising on its website that it planned to place a temporary outdoor ice skating rink at Richland Town Center to open on November 19th. The site advertised that the rink would be open to the public daily until January 21st. The cost per session was expected to be $5 for ages 3 to 11 and $6.50 for those 11 and older. Kest Property Management of Beechwood, Ohio said the deal was nixed simply because there was not enough time to have the rink in place in time to meet the opening date. A company representative said that Kest is still very interested in arranging to have a temporary rink in place for future holiday seasons. And now it's time for the Mountain Cat Entertainment Report with Vlad.
Hi, I'm Vladimir Sidorick here with your entertainment report. The popular movie trivia board game Seen It is coming to the Xbox 360. The 360 version titled Seen It, Lights, Camera, Action will come with 4 wireless remotes where players can buzz in to compete in numerous modes of play. The game will have different modes of play, such as the player will have to name the movie based on the characters and the actors. The Xbox 360 version of Seen It is due out November 6th. So what's Lindsay Lohan up to now? How about having sex in stairwells? According to Brianna Tarnley, Lindsay stole her fiancé Riley while the two met at rehab. Brianna first suspected something when she sat in on a rehab meeting and noticed Lindsay being overly nice to her. She eventually received a message from Riley who stated that their relationship was over and admitted to having sex with Lindsay Lohan in a stairwell at rehab. As shooting wrapped up last week for the next Indiana Jones movie, George Lucas was ready to take the next step. He announced that he is working on a live-action TV show which will focus on the roles of supporting characters from the Star Wars films. Lucas Animation is wrapping up a computer-animated show as well that will be called Star Wars: The Clone Wars. The animated show will follow the same plot as the animated DVDs of the same title, which was released a few years ago. On December 4, 2007, MGM Home Entertainment will release Rocky: The Complete Saga on DVD. The collection will contain every Rocky film from the first all the way up to Rocky Balboa. It will contain all the special features from a standalone disc, and it will be available for the suggested price of $59.98. Well, that's all I have time to entertain you this week. I'm Vladimir Sidorick, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Vlad. A convicted murderer who escaped from an Indiana prison 35 years ago was found living quietly in a small Tennessee town. Linda Darby, 64, was arrested Friday in Pulaski, Tennessee, where she was going by the name Linda Jo McElroy. Darby was sentenced to life in prison in 1970 for her husband's murder, but she escaped in March 1972 from the Indiana Women's Prison in Indianapolis by climbing over a barbed wire fence. An investigator said that Darby has led an exemplary life in Pulaski. They said there is no criminal record here whatsoever. Darby, who was originally from Hammond, Indiana, was waived extradition from Tennessee, said Karen Grubbs, a spokeswoman for the Indiana Department of Correction. She is being held at the Giles County, Tennessee jail. It has been reported investigators in Indiana had contacted the Pulaski Police Department about Darby, and Indiana and Tennessee authorities worked together to make the identification and arrest.
Stay tuned after the break for In the Newsroom with Adam.
Who's it come back to? Heather.
Okay. And now let's send it over to Adam Prevade, who's standing by in the newsroom.
Hey, this is Adam Prevade in the newsroom. If you are an avid viewer of Comedy Central's The Colbert Report, then you are wondering the same thing as the rest of us. Is our hero, Stephen Colbert, actually going to run for president? Colbert announced on his show Tuesday night that he is planning on entering the presidential primary in his home state of South Carolina. In a story published from Thursday's New York Times, sources say that members of Colbert's staff reached out to the state's Democratic and Republican parties for information regarding the possibility of candidacy. Joe Werner, executive director of the South Carolina Democratic Party, said a representative contacted him for filing dates and other requirements. Werner said to his understanding, Colbert does indeed have credible people working for him to get him onto the ballot. Caton Dawson, director of the state's Republican Party, said he too received a phone call from Colbert's representatives with similar questions. Werner says in order for Colbert to get on the ballot, he would first need to pay a $2,500 filing fee. Paperwork is able to begin being filed on Monday, and delegates have until November 1st to file. Werner says Colbert's idea of running on both Republican and Democratic tickets probably cannot be done. However, should Colbert throw his name solely on the Democratic ticket, Werner says the Executive Council would have a difficult time not putting him on the ballot. Mr. Dawson claimed that there is nothing to prohibit Colbert from accepting delegates from both parties on the Republican side of the affair. However, he would have to pay a whopping $35,000 filing fee. Is this all a hoax or a gag in order to draw attention to Colbert's show and new book, or will he take the idea one step further? I'll be following this story in the next few weeks to keep you updated. Just when you thought Man of the Year was a bad movie idea, think again, it could happen. Just don't expect Jon Stewart to ride on these coattails. And now for a little bit of what's going on down here at UPJ. The theater department kicks off their new season Thursday with their rendition of Kaufman and Hart's vintage comedy, You Can't Take It With You. It will be presented at the Pasquarella Performing Arts Center October 18th through the 20th, the 25th through the 27th, and afternoon performances on Sundays October 21st and 28th. You can contact Rodney Eatman at 814-269-7232 for more information. Tickets for the show are $10 and $7 for members of the UPJ community and may be picked up at the box office, which opens 1 hour prior to performances. That'll wrap up what's new in the newsroom. Let's send it back to the lovely ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Adam. That's all we have for you this week. We hope we've made your college experience just a little bit more enlightening. I'm Kristen Lyons.
And I'm Heather Yeager. Thanks for watching.